Samsung just launched their flagship of the year, the Galaxy S25 Ultra, and they're promising some new features. From upgraded AI to pro-level cameras and a sleeker design, Samsung said, take what is familiar and change it up. But is it really worth the upgrade, especially if you're coming from the Galaxy S24 Ultra? Well, in this video, I'll be breaking it all down, including the design upgrades, the AI tricks, and the camera features that especially have me excited for the S25 Ultra. Stick around because I'll also share what works and what doesn't based on my time with the S25 Ultra. I'm your captain of awesome. This is Geekception. Consider subscribing. Let's get into it. The Galaxy S25 Ultra here still feels premium, now with curvier edges at the top and bottom and a flatter side, making it more comfortable to hold, especially in my palm and with my pinky finger. It features that same titanium frame we have from the S24 Ultra with that non-reflective Gorilla Armor 2 front display, which looks absolutely fabulous. Like my iPhone 16 Pro Max looks like a mirror next to it. It still has the same IP68 dust and water resistance here, and the screen size has increased from 6.8 inches to 6.9 inches, which I'll be honest, I thought I would not notice, especially combined with the fact that it is now 15 grams lighter than the Galaxy S24 Ultra. And sure, the display side by side does not look like a massive difference, but on holding the phone, I could definitely tell that one was lighter than the other, and this is positive because I did not even think that this would matter much, but it did. And that distinct design thing here is the camera now looks a lot more like the Z Fold 6 compared to the S24 Ultra. And overall, the design, I would say, just looked a lot more cleaner and it felt a lot more nicer in the hand to hold. Okay, taking a quick hardware tour around the Galaxy S25 Ultra. And up front, you have that stunning 6.9-inch display with thinner bezels, which makes for a more immersive experience, all of that. On the right, you find the power and volume buttons. On the left side, there is nothing there. And on the bottom, there's the SPen, which has been tweaked here. I'll come to that later. You also find the USB-C port, speaker grill, and SIM card tray. On the back, there is a 5-camera system featuring a new 50-megapixel ultra-wide lens. And up top, there's dual microphones to ensure crisp audio. It also comes in several colors here, as you can see on screen. Be sure to let me know in the comments down below which color is your favorite. Moving on to performance, and under the hood, there is a massive upgrade here, and not just where you expect with the processor, which is the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor. And here I have to say it's the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor for Galaxy. I asked what was the difference. I don't know, they did not tell me, so yeah, Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy, which of course has massive performance gains over the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 that was on the Galaxy S24 Ultra. But if you're familiar with phones that have the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor, like the ROG Phone 9 Pro that I have here, it's a very hot boy, and one of the massive improvements on the Galaxy S25 Ultra over the S24 Ultra is the vapor cooling chamber is 40% larger, which means that there is a lesser chance for the phone to overheat, especially let's say when you are gaming for long sessions or even using the camera, which I tend to do a lot. And if it is anything like the Z Flip 5 to the Z Flip 6 cooling improvement that I saw for myself, then I'm very excited here that cooling is not going to be a problem on the S25 Ultra. Using the phone quickly just in my hands-on sessions, and it felt very fast, very fluid, very responsive, everything you've come to expect from a top-of-the-line range phone like the S25 Ultra. Now, because of the processor here, there is a feature called Audio Eraser that is present on the S25 Ultra that allows you to isolate or mute specific sounds like wind or background noise or even speech directly on the phone. No PC needed. And according to Samsung, it can remove or eliminate 6 different kinds of sounds. I think this feature is really cool. It's one of the things that I like about recording on my iPhone 16 Pro Max, and I'm glad that it is present here on the Galaxy S25 Ultra as well. Moving on to the user interface, and there is the One UI 7 here that is present on the Galaxy S25 Ultra. It looks a lot more cleaner. It is very responsive. It is based on Android 15. And one of the nice things with Samsung here is they promise 7 years of software updates and 7 years of security updates, which is one of the longest, if not the longest longest in the Android camp after Google, I believe, and I think Samsung did it first. So you're going to, if you plan on using this phone for a long time, you're going to get lots of updates down the line, which is great, especially considering how much this is going to cost. And a particular feature I like here on the S25 Ultra, which is not exclusive to the S25 Ultra, but I just really liked it, was the Now bar. For supported apps, it shows live data such as live scores, voice recording, or even in navigation apps. And I'm so glad that it is here on One UI 7 as well. It just makes it so much easier for me to glance at my phone, see what the status is, and I don't have to unlock the phone. It's great. Next, let's talk cameras. And even though it's still using most of the same sensors from the S24 Ultra, there are some massive upgrades here which I think no other phone, not even the iPhone 16 Pro Max here, has it. Let's dive into it. And first starting is the 50 megapixel ultra wide camera. I think this is present on the iPhone as well. We now have it here on the Galaxy, up from I think 12 megapixel on the S24 Ultra. So this is nice to see. This means you get better macro shots, for example. And the part of the S25 Ultra that I'm most excited about when it comes to the camera is that in the Pro mode, there is now log video. And for a quick refresher, this is log video. So basically capturing the video in professional format, and when you color grade it, you're able to like do all sorts of things to it. And now it's supported on the S25 Ultra. And not only that, the Pro mode here has gotten a massive upgrade, especially in the Pro video mode, because you can shoot log across all of the lenses at up to UHD 120 frames per second. And unlike the iPhone here, which requires you to plug in an external SSD drive to be able to record at higher bit rates, on the S25 Ultra, you don't need to do any of that. You can do it on the phone itself, no extra accessory needed. What surprised me the most is there is even professional monitoring tools like focus peaking, zebras, and false color to help you nail exposure on a phone. Like, this is fantastic. I was so excited to see this. Another thing that surprised me in the Pro mode is that you get shutter speeds of up to 1/12,000th of a second, which if you're not familiar is really, really high and quite surprising on a mobile phone. So good job, Samsung. HDR video in the standard video mode is now present by default as well on the Galaxy S25 Ultra, so which is those videos that you are in bed scrolling on Instagram at 1 a.m. and the video is so bright it blinds your eyes, right? HDR video. So you can record that at up to resolutions below 8K 30 frames per second, because after that 8K 30 frames per second is not supported, sadly. And speaking of 8K video, when you are in that 8K mode, you can only use the main camera, the ultra wide and 5x camera modes. You cannot use any of the other telephoto cameras, for example. And another part that I think many people are going to love, I think yourself included, is that the camera filter system on the Galaxy S25 Ultra has actually been completely revamped, meaning that now you can be able to fine tune it, you can be able to fine tune the contrast, and even one feature that iPhone 16 Pro Max, again, I'm comparing it to this iPhone 16 Pro Max a lot, does not have, is you can add film grain right in the camera interface itself. You do not need to go to any software, you do not need to load anything. Right in the camera app, you can add film grain to your photos, and there's a bunch of versatile profiles here, which I think I can already think of a video idea of like some of the best film looks for the Galaxy S25 Ultra. I cannot wait to get my hands on it to make that video, because yeah, it's so exciting. And another thing I love about the filters on the Galaxy ecosystem, which is also present here on the Galaxy S25 Ultra, is that if you do not like how a photo looks with a filter, even if you change your mind a month from now, a year from now, you can just go into the gallery app and you can just undo it. You can, select any other profile you want, which I think is fantastic. So you can just shoot away and change your mind later. I love it. And of course, if you plan on recording UHD, which is 4K videos, you can record that 60 frames per second on all the cameras, which is great. There's also a new software feature here in the camera called Best Face, where you're taking a group photo, someone blinked, and then you have to retake the entire photo again. You don't have to do that. It will take a bunch of photos when you take one photo, and if one person has blinked or one person's eyes is closed, you can just tap on their face and change it. I couldn't really get the demo when I was there, but it's something fantastic. I think Google has something on their Pixel line as well, which I tested last year, and I think if you take lots of photos with people in groups, You're going to love it. All right, I have delayed long enough. We have to talk about the SPen. First, starting with just how it looks, and here on the S25 Ultra, it is a little bit longer than the SPen on the S24 Ultra. And fun fact, the S24 Ultra's SPen doesn't fit into the S25 Ultra, but the S25 Ultra's SPen fits into the S24 Ultra, even though it sticks out quite a bit. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting because, hey, who wouldn't want to test that, right? And let's address the elephant in the room. Well, the elephant SPen in the room, because they removed Bluetooth functionality. And according to them, they did surveys for most SPen users, and they found out that most people were not using their, Bluetooth functionality. So, hey, if you have the Galaxy S Ultra line, please leave a comment. Do you use the Bluetooth or not? Or am I going crazy? Because I use this all the time, but then admittedly, I make videos, and most of the time I want to use this to take photos when I mount my S25 Ultra here. But yeah, let me know, do you use the Bluetooth functionality? Because I don't know, I just feel like we're missing something here. Okay, there are three things in life, okay? It's death, it's taxes, and it's Galaxy AI. My favorite one is Now Brief, which is a personalized feed that curates your day from weather updates to traffic info, and it gives you like a summary of what your day is going to look like. And I think this one I'll really use a lot. I really couldn't see it when I was testing the phone there with the short time I had with it, but according to the Samsung rep, they said, the more you use your phone, the more it gets to better understand who you are, and the more specific it gets. I cannot wait to test this over like 6 months. And another thing that Samsung was quite proud of on the S25 series in general, but especially on the Ultra, is the deeper integration of AI, but not in the way I think many people have been marketing it, including Samsung themselves. So here they claim that it has even deeper contextual meaning. So you can go into your gallery app, for example, and say, hey, show me photos of me and this person A or person B when we were in Venice or whatever. And it will actually give you those specific photos, and you can use language like this either by typing or by using your voice, which I think is what I imagined, technology to look like when I'm at this age, when I grew up, right? And even though Samsung did not talk about it, if we go back to the camera app for a second here, when you take a photo or you have a photo in your gallery and you like how the colors look like, you can actually select that photo, and your camera app will shoot photos that look like that photo you like, which I think is using AI in some sort of form, right? They did not mention it when I was, listening to the presentation, but I thought it was super cool, and I cannot wait to recreate some of the looks I like in the camera app itself on the S25 Ultra. Okay, so after my very short period of time using the S25 Ultra, what are my first impressions? First off, I would say, even though I prefer the square design on the S24 Ultra, I like that on the S25 Ultra, it's a lot more comfortable to hold. It's bigger, but it feels smaller somehow. And at the same time, the bezels just make it look a lot more cleaner. And yeah, I think design here is a win for me. And the camera upgrades here are not the kind of upgrades that I will think that I would like, which is, I want a bigger sensor. I want a 1-inch sensor on the phone, like all the Chinese phones have been doing recently. But the software features such as log video and a well thought out pro mode here, the audio eraser features for creators like myself, or even like yourself, where you're recording something in a busy market or outside and you want to remove all the wind noise, you can just, with a flick of a button, remove all of the wind noise, and the only thing left is your voice. I think it's super cool. I'm excited to try that out as well. And while AI, especially Galaxy AI, has been, I think, overblown out in the past year or so, they've beat it over our heads over and over again. I really think the Now Bar and the Now Brief are features that I will genuinely use outside of, the photo manipulation and all of that, which I don't personally use myself. So I think this one is one I will use because it just helps me in my day, it helps me in my life, and I'm excited to try it out. What I could not try out, however, is the cooling claims from Samsung with that vapor chamber increase and all of that. So that's something I look forward to testing when I get my hands on the phone for real. And there are just many things in the phone here, such as the well thought out pro controls like focus peaking and zebras and false colors, which even the iPhone doesn't have that. And just an overall polish for the phone, which now leads us to the most important question here. Should you buy the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra? Well, it depends. If you're upgrading from an older Galaxy phone, the S25 Ultra is a no-brainer here. You get better display, better performance, better battery life. And I did not mention the battery life, but it's the same battery life. And with that new processor, you should get even better battery life here. So yeah, I would say it's a no-brainer. The S25 Ultra, go ahead. But if you already have the S24 Ultra though, if you're looking for my honest opinion, I would say no. because this is still a great phone. It still has 7 years of upgrade, so you can still use this for 6 more years and still get all of the Android updates. And it's fast enough that I think in 6 years it will still be a good or even great phone. Just change the battery and you'll be fine. But if you're a tech enthusiast or you are someone like me who makes content or you create videos online, then yeah, the features of the S25 Ultra are definitely ones that might be very tempting to switch over to, such as the pro video mode, such as the audio eraser, and such as just, getting a phone that is just more faster than the current king that is here. And I told you there was 2 options, but sucker, I lied. There was 3 options, and the third option is just waiting for the S25 Ultra to drop and getting yourself a good deal on the S24 Ultra or any of the other Samsung Galaxy phones. The S24 FE is also, I think, one of the good options from last year, and you can just score a good deal or even use some of the promos that Samsung always has for the S25 Ultra series with all the vouchers and all that and get it at a much lower price. So hey, that's an option as well if you're not, waiting to get it on day one. But overall, that has been my experience with the Galaxy S25 Ultra. I try to be as comprehensive as possible in this video, so I really hope I've been able to address some of the things. Please let me know if you have any questions about the Galaxy S25 Ultra. What are you looking forward to? Are you going to be upgrading if you have the S24 Ultra right here, or even if you have the iPhone 16 Pro Max, because there are some people who want to do that. What videos would you like me to make? Again, I have all of the major devices. I have the Pixel, it's not on my table here, but I have the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL as well. So let me know what videos you want to make and you want me to make. Well, not you making, I'll make the videos for you. Let me know all of that and I'll be more than happy to check them all out. And yeah, that has been it. I hope you're still here. I hope you're still doing well. I hope you're taking care of yourself, and I'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to stay awesome and take care of yourself. As always, I've been your captain of awesome, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.